What's up, People Church? I'm so glad that you're here. I got exciting news. Right here, this is the building that you and I have been praying for and believing for, and guess what? We have raised the $450,000 deposit that we needed to purchase this building. How awesome is that? Now, I wish I could tell you that we're done, but we're not. So come on, let's go as we talk through what is the next chapter of our church. It's been an incredible 7 years and God has done amazing things. But as you know, in true People Church fashion, we believe that there's more. Over the last 7 years, you have supported us from all the way around the world, friends, family. You've supported us through finance, you've prayed for us. Some of you have even come all the way to Chicago and done a stint of serving with us. It has been a phenomenal time and God has moved and done incredible things. But with every single great thing, there are also great challenges. Some of which the simple things that all churches should be able to do, like a youth program that happens weekly and a kids program that just is incredible and ever moving. Well, we haven't been able to do that because of our buildings. We've had restrictions and we've not been able to rent. But here's the cool thing. I'm standing here in our future kids space. This is going to be a 200-seat auditorium where our youth can use it as well. We've got kids' classrooms and an incredible playground just behind you. It's going to be an amazing, amazing journey. But finding a good building isn't easy. We've actually gone through 66 buildings that we just looked at and they didn't work. Why? Because we've got to find the right building that's got zoning. We've got to find the right building with parking and logistic issues. We've also got to have a space that's big enough because guess what? We keep growing. How awesome is that? In fact, right over here, you've got our cry room and our sensory room where everybody, parents, can actually make sure that they're part of the auditorium because you and I know that we've had some pretty incredible moments together on the other side of these doors in an auditorium where God has moved and some of us have found Jesus for the very first time. So if you want to see what's next, come on, let's have a look. Right here, you've got it. Our brand new auditorium with a place where you found Jesus. Well, not exactly new and maybe not the place you found Jesus, but the place where many will find Jesus, and this will be new. We're actually underneath our balcony area, and this is gonna be all stripped back, floor to ceiling, stage over there. People are gonna find Jesus. We're gonna be able to do things we've never dreamed we were able to do. In fact, we had restrictions on us. We often haven't been able to start new services that we knew would be helpful. We haven't been able to have the baptism services that we needed to have. We've had to limit things because we've got restrictions on what we can use our buildings for. Buildings that, by the way, we pay for only 12 hours a week, the same amount to service those as we would a $5 million debt. It is insane. But I know this, that as we build a new building, stats say that we grow by 60%. And once we reach 85% of our current building, we actually stop growing. So the opportunities are endless. But come on, if you've been part of People Church, you know that the real party happens out here at our foyer. This is where it's at. This is where we have always done life with people because we believe that People Church is a community of real people doing life and engaging. That's where the magic happens. Right over here, you've got our front doors. They're going to be incredible as people flow into this space. And over here, from Monday through Saturday, we're going to have flex co-working space where people are going to be able to launch dreams and incredible businesses that change the world. This is our cafe over here. I'm so excited for it. And I'm most excited that it's going to extend midweek over into our kids' foyer. Parents are going to be able to come in here and just have moments of respite and actually hang out while their kids play and have an incredible time. I've got to tell you this. There's probably not a major city in the world that doesn't have a church building that lines its skyline and changes its architecture. In fact, we know this, that the monolithic buildings that we've seen around the world were built by communities well beyond our lifetime. In fact, when we build a church, we put a physical stake in the ground that can actually last thousands of years. We also know this, People Church, we've always been about impacting the community, not just through aesthetics, but actually meaningful work. Do you know that having an actual distribution hub and physical place to logistically love on our community will take our impact to a whole nother level? And speaking of another level, this is it. This is the next place that we actually get to impact the world. You've heard us talk about micro enterprise and about partnering with Action, where we get to launch small businesses that change communities. Well, right here, there's going to be offices and empowerment rooms where we do that very thing. Come on, 5,000 businesses over the next 5 years, employing 10 people each, and those 10 people having a circle of friends and family of 10, that puts us well over the 500,000 mark of people impacted with their dreams becoming a reality. We live in times where not everybody has equal opportunity. We live in times where some of our communities are opportunity starved, but the church has an opportunity to rise up and make dreams a reality. Mainly in some of our communities that are on the south and west side, mainly our black and brown communities, but I believe God's gonna do something great because you're faithful, which, by the way, one of our challenges of buying a building is that banks don't understand our model, which means that we've got to raise a little more than most people. Why? Because we have a product that they can't quantify. See, if we were a business, we could just say that we're going to stand X amount of units, but we're not. We're the house of God, and they don't quite understand the power of faithfulness. But let me tell you about the power of your faithfulness. Your faithfulness over the last 7 years has ensured that our finances have grown 50% year on year for the last 7 years. In fact, that's not where it ends. You've been faithful from all the way around the world. Malaysia, China, LA, New York City, Rio de Janeiro, everywhere around the world. You have supported us through so many different things. You've sent us emails, you've sent us messages that have impacted our life as we've impacted yours. You've shared social media posts, you've downloaded our podcast faithfully, and you've asked us, Chris, when will there be a people church in our city? Well, I think I kind of have a solution to that. Come on, let's see this. This is the top area of our church, and over there's going to be a stage where we're going to write worship and we're going to preach messages that impact you. Well, how does that help us, Chris? Let me tell you. So, we haven't had access to our buildings, therefore we don't have a stable internet connection. But in our new building, we're going to be able to make sure that we're broadcasting services live straight to your city. And I think it's the beginning of gathering groups in your city so that we might have a physical presence all around the world, Munich, Tokyo, and the cities of the world. But as you can see, we got to keep moving. We've got an incredible build ahead, and it's been a great chapter. But we've got a next chapter of our church, and it's going to take all of us. You know, here's the exciting news. We raised $450,000 of a deposit to purchase this building right here through a pandemic using only 25% of the people in our church, which means, church, we've got a new season ahead. Remember this date, September 27th. This is the moment that you and I have to come to the table with $1 million deposit for the rest of our build. I know it sounds big, but I also know we've got it. Your faithfulness all over the world, and here in Chicago, I believe we could do it. We're gonna have opportunities through an interactive walkthrough of this building where you could give towards any single area of this church, and we want everybody involved. So there is areas and areas that you could give to for every season of life and every season of resource. This is what I know, church. The church always grows when we come to the table with what the banks don't understand, but we understand well, and so does God, faithfulness. So come on, time is ticking, and we've got to build. I'll see you on the other side of this dream because we're going to head into the next chapter of our church. Come on, we'll see you then.